It's Thursday, January 25th, 2024. Hope everybody's having a great day. A lot to talk about today. I printed up a couple articles, jotted down some notes. Please feel free to comment down below. As always, please make sure to like this video, share this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. But getting right into it here today on CNBC, Treasury Chief Yellen touts GDP numbers as a boon to the middle class. Now, not to be judgmental, I'm just being observant here. This lady is out of her mind. When you take into account how much we are spending on these wars, the amount of government workers that we are hiring and who's paying for that, you want to know how they're pushing the GDP numbers up. They're doing it by all this government spending. It's not coming from the real economy. It's not coming from the private sector. It's not coming from a great economy. It's coming from all of this government spending that is taking place. Again, the wars, all the government workers, all this money printing, all of this stuff is propping up the GDP. So what you're seeing isn't even real. Now, I know that there are people out there very, very triggered. There are actually, believe it or not, there are people out there that believe that this economy is doing well. They believe manufacturing. We're seeing and witnessing a manufacturing boom. This is how delirious and uneducated these people are. They believe everything's doing great. Bill Holter, I was watching Bill Holter today in an interview, and he said, so many of these people use the word hope. I hope things get better. I hope nothing bad happens. Hope is for dopes, Bill Holter says. I'm quoting. Hope is for dopes. And there'll be people now telling me that, oh, the doom, the gloom, the negativity. Let me be very, very clear. There was a woman last night in the comments commenting on one of my videos, and she was just telling me that, you know, I'm just doom and gloom. Do I ever get tired of doom and gloom? Lady, you have no idea what doom and gloom is, but you're going to find out because it's coming. Most people have no idea how bad this is going to be. They are underestimating what is coming. People haven't seen doom and gloom yet. We're not even close to how bad it's going to get. And I don't want anybody to suffer. And to this woman out here who seemed very, very aggressive and called me, Dr. Doom, Doomsdayer, negative, all the words. I don't want to see anything bad happen to you, okay? I don't want to see you be a statistic. You have no idea how bad this is going to get. You have no idea. Just because you might live in a little gated community in Mayberry and you think everything's going to be okay because maybe you get a government subsidized check every month, you have no idea how bad it's going to get. And you're going to experience something that is going to look like it came out of an apocalyptic movie. I hate to say this, but hope is for dopes. And if you don't think what I'm saying is true, just go to the U.S. debt clock. I went to it today. And just again, for the people out there that think that the economy is booming, that think that this is just all made up, and that I'm just exaggerating. Let me just pop this off here, get a little coffee going. I just jotted down just a couple of the highlights off the U.S. debt clock. So anybody who wants to argue that the economy is doing well, that the consumer is doing well, just go to the U.S. debt clock. And it's probably much worse than this, but we'll go with these numbers. We're over $34.1 trillion in debt. Debt per taxpayer now is $264,000. Debt to GDP, 122%. Does this reflect a good economy? This is a depression. Interest on the debt right now, $736 billion, heading to $1 trillion very, very soon. Median income, $39,000. Median new home, $422,000. See, this is unsustainable when somebody's making $39,000 and a house is $422,000. 10 times, over 10 times their income. Average new car, $49,700, $50,000. So the average median income doesn't even equal the average new car price. Median income in 2000, check this out. The median income in the year 2000 was $31.6 thousand. The median new home was $161,000. 5 times your income. That's now doubled. The average new car was $22,000. So the median income was more than the average new car. Now the median income doesn't even come close to the price of a new car. How about this for a booming economy? 41 million people on food stamps. Is that really a great economy? Is this just doom and gloom that I'm talking about, or reality? It is reality, ladies and gentlemen. The doom and gloom is not here yet. It's coming. And if people think that this is doom and gloom, they have no idea. 43 million people in America, the wealthiest nation on planet Earth, we're told. 43 million people living in poverty in the wealthiest nation on planet Earth. U.S. drug deaths, 120,000 per year. Does that sound like a good number to you? Does that sound like a prosperous country? Does that sound like a booming economy? That sounds like doom and gloom right there, because that's what it is. When you lose 120,000 people in a year to drug deaths, I think we lost 50,000 in Vietnam in the entire war. We're losing 120,000 a year in drug deaths. 611,000 homeless people in America. That number is much higher than that, because they're not including people that are living in their cars, vans, dilapidated RVs. And it's very hard to track this number anyways, but I would say that number is getting very, very close to 1 million without a doubt. 27 million people in the wealthiest nation on planet Earth, 27 million people in this country don't even have health insurance. But we give it to people who come from all over the planet. We'll give it to them when they get here. Top 1% of wealth on average has $18.2 million. The bottom 50% of this country has $36,000 in wealth. This is a huge gap in wealth inequality, in my opinion. But please comment down below if you're one of these people who keeps telling me how good everything is. Show me where we're doing so well. We have a record number of suicides, record number of drug deaths, record number of homeless people, record number of mental illness in this country. We have a record number of people on drugs in this country. We have a record amount of debt in this country. Our infrastructure is crumbling. More wealth inequality now than ever in any time in U.S. history. U.S. trade deficit, $1 trillion. Does that sound like a good, prosperous, positive number to you? No, it doesn't. Deficit with China alone, $256 billion. Student loan debt, $1.7 trillion. Credit card debt, $1.3 trillion. By the way, the average college student owes almost $40,000 in credit card debt. What a way to start out your life. So comment down below, where is your economy here in the U.S. booming? Please explain this to me. There's always, that 3, 4, or 5 people that love to criticize me and tell me that I'm just negative, I'm doom and gloom. I'm a realist. I live in the real world. If you call me up and said, hey, how's the weather, out in your area today? I'm going to tell you, either it's sunny or it's raining or it's windy and cold. I'm just going to tell it the way I see it. And a lot of people just can't handle the truth. You know why? Because they know that they're completely unprepared, and they're getting very, very scared now, because we're getting more into this game, deeper into the innings here. And these people have no money, no assets, no training, no skills, and they have no hope, and they're in very, very big trouble. And I'm sorry for you. I wish you would have started listening a few years ago. Now it's too late. And so now you're the one that's going to have to deal with the doom and gloom. The prepared people are going to get through it. You're going to have a very, very difficult time, and I feel sorry for you. Chris Krohn, I believe, is how you pronounce his name, or Chris Krohn, the realtor who does a lot of social media. I watched a video on him yesterday, and I'm going to just note a bunch of things he said in this video. And again, this is just going to reinforce what I started this video with, and it's going to reinforce where we're at as a country and why you better do something about your situation. $1 million in 1993. Today, you would need $2,070,000. to $2,070,000 to equal that $1 million in 1993. Think about that. $1 million in 1993 today is $2,070,000. Inflation in 5 years will probably devalue half of everyone's money watching this video, including 401ks, IRAs, and savings accounts. So the answer is what we're always being told is work harder, work more hours, work more jobs, just work till you get older, right? Work till you're 70. This is what we're being told is the answer. From 2002 to 2022, salaries have increased 27%. The cost of a home has increased 148%. Our cost of living, Chris says, is not keeping up. The average person is driving a $60,000 car that has a $50,000 salary and $100,000 in student loan debt. And as most of you know, we're being told 62% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people are saying that number is like 78%, 80%. And I think it's probably much closer to 80% than 60%. So work harder, work more hours, work more jobs, and work till you're 100. That's the answer that most people are saying today. And look, I think it's good if you're taking on side hustles, you're working the extra hours, but this is what people are now forced to do. They don't even have a choice. They have to do this not to get ahead. They're doing this just to make ends meet, just to get by. There was a time where you would pick up a side hustle, you work an extra 10 hours a week, and it was all gravy. That's money you put away. Maybe that was money you invested. That's money you saved up for a house, saved up for a car. Now that money's spent. You're working 2-3 side hustles, and the money is spent from one week to the next. It's not going to anything. It's just keeping you alive from paycheck to paycheck. And this is unsustainable. There's only so many hours. There's only so many jobs people can work. And this, again, is completely unsustainable. And it's going to end really, really bad for a lot of people in this country. And I don't honestly have an answer here, because I think that all most people can do right now is work those extra side hustles and take on those extra hours. But at some point, you can only work so many hours and so many jobs. Then what? Then what happens? As the credit cards are tapped out, the bank accounts are tapped out, prices are continuing to go up, you're working 60, 70 hours a week. I don't know. It's not good, ladies and gentlemen. I was reading this on Finder.com, and it was a survey of what preppers are buying. And we'll switch gears here a little bit. And I thought this was pretty interesting because more and more people are beginning to prep. More and more people are waking up to the dangers out there financially, socially, and they're beginning. And these are people who have the means to do it, because I'll tell you what, you know as well as I do, prepping is not cheap. And it seems like it just keeps getting more and more expensive. And if you just started prepping, say this year or last year, it's expensive. We've been putting away food, water, security, metals, and whatnot for many, many years. And now looking back, last year, this year, prices are just out of control. It's going to be very, very expensive to continue to prep, no doubt. But Finder.com, what preppers are buying? 21% are buying food and water, 15% toilet paper, 14% medical supplies, 12% survival kits, 8% home renovations, 6% are spending on self-defense classes or weaponry, 6% are using money for insurance, 6% are investing into a savings account, 5% are spending money on evacuation cars, trucks, boats, 4% on survival courses, and 4% on precious metals. So what do you think about this list? Please comment down below. I would say the 6% spending on self-defense classes or weaponry, that should be at the very, very top. Food and water at 21%. That should be second, but that is up high on the list, which I think is important. But I'm shocked to see that self-defense and weaponry is down here at 6%. That should be ahead on top of even food and water. Why? Because if you cannot protect your food and water, if you cannot protect your survival kits, if you cannot protect your evacuation car, if you cannot protect your precious metals, somebody is going to take it. So you need those self-defense classes. You need that security. That should be at the top of the list. So very interesting. Let me know where you see some of these things. Precious metals at 4%. I think that should be much higher also. Very, very important. Also, speaking of precious metals, really quick, the silver balance that Ryan was nice enough to give me Sunday. Make sure you pick up one of these. I'll put the link down below. They're $26. I don't make a dime on these, but I do support people in the community. I think it's innovative. This is a way to test the top 7 silver coins, your Silver Eagles, Cougarans, Buffaloes, etc., Philharmonics. The top 7, you can test by weight, you test by width, you can test diameter. So it gives you 3 different ways to verify that your silver is real. So make sure you pick up one of these. Support good people. Ryan's a good guy. I don't make a dime. I hope he sells 1 million of them for $26. If you use it one time, somebody says, oh, $26 for a piece of plastic. I mean, you got to be an idiot to say something like that, because if you're talking about doing a transaction, lights go out, grid down, whatever the case may be, we're bartering. Somebody wants to give me some, $200 in silver for some food or some other asset, I can verify it. So for $26, if I use it one time, it's worth it. So link down below if you want to check that out. Going back to the article here, 1 out of 3 men is a prepper, 1 out of 4 women is prepping. And then they break down who's prepping the most. Gen Z is prepping the most, 40%. Gen Y, 39%. Gen X, 20%. And baby boomers, 19%. And anybody that thinks that this is just, more fear-mongering, that this is just more just, thinking crazy. You have people like Mark Zuckerberg. What's he building? Like a $100 million bunker in Hawaii? Something absolutely ridiculous, underground. You have so many wealthy people now that are buying bunkers across the world. It's unbelievable. So anybody that just thinks that this is fantasy, why would Mark Zuckerberg spend so much money? And how many more of the ultra wealthy are buying bunkers or building bunkers all over the world, including right here in the United States of America? Survival vehicles, 100,000 to 500,000 plus. Why would people with money be investing in this stuff if they weren't worried? Again, I think that we could learn a lot from the top 1%. I know a lot of people despise the top 1%, but you better watch what they're doing. You should pay attention to what they're doing. You should pay attention to what the central banks are doing. These people are going to protect themselves while, people are still watching football games and they're watching their Netflix. You have wealthy people spending multi-millions of dollars on vehicles, on bunkers, on food. They're buying ranches. They're doing everything they can to be self-sufficient. We can't all do that. I understand that. But we can do what we can do. We can secure our homes and our properties. We can add more food, emergency canned food, water filtration, have a trauma kit, be working on our security. There's something we can always be doing to put the odds a little bit more in our favor. To me, this is just adding a life jacket to your boat. You pray to God you never get in an accident. Nobody thinks about it. But if it happens, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to reach for the life jacket. And that's how these people think. Maybe it doesn't happen tomorrow. Maybe it doesn't happen next year. Maybe it doesn't happen in 5 years. But what if it happens in 9 years, 8 years, 12 years? These people have life jackets. And they're putting the odds in their favor that they're going to survive. Now, if you don't care about surviving, if you don't care about your kids surviving, that's up to you. These are all choices. So I just think it's good to think outside of the box. Now, I'm going to wrap up this video. Again, we are living in a train wreck of an economy. Reuters, this came out a couple weeks ago. Japan's Nippon Steel to acquire U.S. Steel for $14.9 billion. U.S. Steel, the biggest steel company in America, now will be owned by a Japanese company. How do you feel about that? So, We see all this farmland and forestry being sold to foreign investors, and now America's biggest steel company will be owned by a Japanese company. I don't think that's good. I really, really don't. Another one today, Microsoft lays off 1,900 workers, nearly 9% of the gaming division after Activision Blizzard acquisition. So more people now who are going to have to figure out how they're going to pay their bills, pay the mortgage, make the credit card payments. And I will close with this last one. Hampton's mansion, once listed for $150 million, sells at auction for less than $90 million. It fell into bankruptcy. It sold for $88.5 million. And as I was looking at properties last night in the Deep South, I'm beginning to see a lot more homes over $1 million hitting the market. Now, I don't know the exact reason for that, but we are watching, even out here in LA, these multi-million-dollar homes not getting anywhere near the asking price. And now I'm looking in the Deep South and I'm seeing more homes over $1 million hitting the market. Of course, they're not selling. And I'm just wondering why we're beginning to see more of these luxury properties in the South hitting the market. What do these people know? Why are they selling? Do they have to sell? But this is not 2021. This is not 2022. This fantasy, the FOMO, it's over. It's done. We have less people that can buy these homes. People are aware that tough times are coming. I don't see mortgage rates coming down very much. And I see a lot more people losing their jobs, and this is not going to be a positive for the housing market. So the cash buyers, the people who have the ability and the means to buy a home right now, many of them are beginning to sit back, and they're going to wait, just like I'm doing. And I think that we're going to see big trouble in the housing market. And when you see a home selling for $60 million less than the original listing price and the property fell into bankruptcy, it's another telltale sign of what is coming. The real estate market out here is down 35%. Sales are down 35%. That is a housing collapse. That is a real estate collapse. These bozos who used to write me all the time, message me telling me it's not happening in their area, these brokers, these real estate agents, where did you go? Where did you go? Well, you're probably working a bartending job somewhere. God bless you. Or you're working at Starbucks. You're back at the nail salon. I get it. But look, I've watched this movie play out before, and I'm watching it begin to play out yet again. The smart money is going to sit on the sidelines. That goes for the real estate market, and that goes for the stock market, because we're going to see, look, I don't even care what the stock market does at this point. It's probably, the Dow's probably going to go to 40,000 while we go into a depression. But at some point, it's going to blow up, and it's going to be on sale. We all know all of this is overvalued. Housing, the bond market, commercial real estate, the stock market, everything is completely overvalued. And the smart money is just going to continue to stockpile the war chest and wait until this thing blows up. And when it does, there are going to be sales out there like nobody has ever seen in their lifetime. And people will go, oh no, that'll never happen. It happened back in 2008 when people said it would never happen back then. Prices could never go down 70% on a house. I'll tell you right now, 3 miles from here, there were homes selling for 50 to 70% off all day long. Okay, 50 to 70% off all day long. So don't tell me it ain't never going to happen again. It's happening right now. In fact, the economy is so much worse. The situation we're in right now, the environment we're in, geopolitically, socially, spiritually, financially, is a complete train wreck. It makes 2008 look like Sunday school. Prepare, ladies and gentlemen. Be safe out there. God bless every one of you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you.